We're just going to start with a nice breath warm-up, mind warm-up for you. So we can just go ahead and gently close our eyes. As we come to a comfortable seated position, close our eyes. We're just going to start to focus on our breath. So we can have a nice deep inhale start through the nose. Nice long exhale out of the mouth. A couple more times just like that, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just becoming aware of our breath this morning. And fill our lungs completely, emptying completely. And then allow our breath to just return to normal, in and out through the nose. As our breath returns to normal, we can just notice our breath. See how it feels this morning. Perhaps it's shallow, perhaps it's nice and deep, long breath. With no judgment on yourself, just noticing your breath. Then going to move our attention to our body. So as we shift our attention to our bodies, we can just notice the weight of our bodies pressing down into the mat underneath us. You notice perhaps if you're leaning more to the left and to the right, so if you're nice and centered. Notice your spine, whether it's straight. Feel the weight of your head and the strength of your body supporting you. You feel the weight of your arms pressing down into your legs. The edges of your feet pressing into the mat. Just feeling your body where it is. And we can go ahead and shift our attention just to any sounds that are around us. Just notice every sound that you can hear. Perhaps you can hear some music, some birds, traffic, all the bustle of the city around us. No emotional reaction, just notice how many sounds you can hear. Bring our attention back to our breath. So as we notice our breath, you can start to notice where you take the breath. Maybe when you inhale, you feel your chest. Maybe you feel your belly, your ribs. Just noticing where your breath comes naturally. Then we're going to take a minute to control where our breath goes. So we can go ahead and take our right hand and place it on our stomachs. And we're just going to practice breathing into our bellies, filling our bellies with air and expanding our stomachs. Inhale, fill your belly with air, exhale. A couple times just like that, filling your belly with air. And emptying your lungs. One more time, filling the belly. We can then take both of our hands and place them on our ribs. And we can inhale and expand the rib cage out. So we're now going to draw our breath into our ribs. So inhale. Feel your rib cage expand. Exhale. Go back in. Inhale. Allow the ribs to expand. Exhale. Back in. One or two more times that way. Expand the ribs. We can then go ahead and place our right hand on our chest, perhaps over our heart. And as we inhale, we're going to expand our chest. Allow our collarbones to raise, taking our breath into our chest. So we will inhale, expand the chest. Exhale, inhale, breathing into the chest. Exhale, 1 or 2 more times. We're then going to flow through all 3 types of breath. So inhale into our stomachs. Exhale. Inhale into our ribs. Exhale. And inhale into our chest. Exhale. And then we're going to take a nice long breath and try to fill each of those 3 parts in one inhale. So as we inhale, we'll fill our stomachs, expand our ribs, and raise our chest, and then we'll fully exhale. So we'll flow through that just a few times, trying to have that 3-part breath all in one breath. Inhale, fill the tummy, expand the ribs, inhale into the chest, and then exhale. 1 or 2 more times on your own pace. Go ahead and allow your breath to return to normal. Now, as you've taken this time to check in with our breath, just try to maintain that focus on your breath throughout our practice. As we flow through different positions and different movements, just try to be conscious of your breath. Coming in, and going out, long and steady. Then going to bring our attention back to our bodies just for another moment, and just notice how your body feels this morning. Perhaps you feel tight, perhaps you feel relaxed, maybe you're tired, energized. Just noticing how your body feels. Take that into account. We're then going to go ahead and set our intention for this practice. We all got up early, made our way here to have a nice yoga practice. Just take a moment to think about what it is you want to achieve over the next hour. Good practice. We're going to take a nice deep inhale together, and on our exhale, we'll chant Om 1 time to start our practice together. Exhale. When you're ready, we'll have a deep inhale. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, you go ahead and slowly open your eyes. We're going to go ahead and extend our legs out in front of us and start our joint warm-up. Now when we practice in the morning, sometimes our bodies can be nice and stiff and tight from a long night's sleep. So we're just going to take our time and gently introduce some movement into our bodies. So we can go ahead and place our hands next to our hips. We're going to inhale, pull the toes back. Exhale, point the toes forward. Inhale, pull them back. Exhale, forward. Inhale. Really try to pull them back as far as you can, flexing your quads. Exhale, point them forward. Reach as much as you can. Once or twice more. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, pull them back. Exhale, point them forward. We're then going to pick up underneath our right knee. And we're going to start with some ankle rotations. So we're going to go ahead and do some small circles, clockwise to start. Maybe 5 or 6 times, and we can switch directions, going counterclockwise. 5 5 or 6 times. And then do some knee rotations, doing some big circles. You can go nice and slow and just really feel every direction. Point your toe in the direction you're going. Again, 5 or 6 times, then we switch directions. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to practice just straightening our legs. So as we hold underneath our hamstring, straighten the leg. Straighten. 4 or 5 times. And on the 5th time, as we extend, we're just going to reach out with both arms, hold our foot, try pushing your foot into your hands and pulling back with your hands. And a nice stretch, pushing into your hip. We're then going to take our right foot, place it on our left bicep. As we do that, we'll take our right arm underneath our knee and start to cradle our foot in here. As we're doing this, we're pushing our foot into the arm and we're pulling our arm, having that counteraction. After we've done this a few times, we're just going to go ahead and place it just above the knee. And once it's above the knee, often, especially for me, I'm very tight in my hips in the morning, so we're just going to start to loosen our hips. So you can just start to gently push down on your right knee and loosen up that hip a little bit. Nothing too much, just whatever feels comfortable for you this morning. We're then going to catch that foot again, flow through a few more, rocking it out, loosening up the hip. And this time we're going to try to place it maybe just a little bit higher. Again, push down on that knee, loosen up the hip a little bit, just what feels comfortable. Catch it for the 3rd time, rock it out a few times, nice and loosen the hip. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pull our calf muscle out of the crease. We're going to close the knee joints, and we're going to attempt to bring the heel up towards the belly button. If your hip's not that open, that's okay. Whatever feels comfortable for you this morning, not too stressful. And as we place the foot, we're going to try to have the top of the foot up for our half lotus. And once we're here, we can go ahead and just close this other leg and just sit for a moment in half lotus. Just feel in your hip. Take a deep breath. Gently release. And we're going to switch sides. So we'll now be doing our joint warm-up on the other side. So we're going to pick up on the left knee. Start with our ankle rotations clockwise. 5 or 6 times, and then we'll switch counterclockwise. Some knee rotations. 3, 4, 5, and we can switch directions counterclockwise. 3, 4, 5, 6. Do our leg extensions, straightening out. 2, 3, 4. On the 5th one, we'll go ahead and catch that foot. We're pushing into our hands and we're pulling back against our foot. Feeling that in our hip and in our hamstrings. We're then going to, again, take the left foot, bring it to the right bicep, bring the left arm underneath the left knee, and just start to cradle that leg, opening up the hip. Pushing and pulling at the same time. And then we're just going to place it just above the knee. Once it's here, again, we're going to just go ahead and gently push on the left knee. Start to loosen up that hip. We can then catch the left foot again, cradle it in, pushing and pulling. And this time, place it a little bit higher. You can maybe start to turn the bottom of the foot up a little bit, then pushing, just what's comfortable. And for the 3rd time, we'll catch the foot, open up the hip. And this time, we're going to pull that flesh out towards you, that calf muscle. Close the knee joints. Try to bring the foot up towards your stomach. As you bring it in and flip the toe up, the knees pointing forward, and allow it to just settle if it's comfortable. And then you can bring your other foot in and just sit half lotus. Take a breath. And release. Now as we come back to easy pose, I know for me, when I first come to easy pose in the morning, my knees are like this. I'm so tight. But now that we've loosened up our hips a little bit, even if your knees are still tight, you can practice having your feet not stacked on your ankles, a bit separate, and you can just scoot yourself forward a little bit. Allow your knees to relax down. Nice and easy on your hips. From here, we're going to start to warm up our necks. So we're going to inhale, look forward. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale over the right. Inhale, left. Inhale, right. We'll inhale, center. This time we're going to bring our left ear down towards our left shoulder, stretching the right side of the neck. Inhale. Right ear to right shoulder, stretching the left side of the neck. Inhale. Left. Inhale. Right. And then going to inhale, look up towards the ceiling. As high as you can. Exhale, tuck the chin, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, center. And we're just going to do some neck rotation. So as you exhale, we're going to go down. Once you finish your exhale, your chin is tucked. And then we'll start to inhale up and back. Maybe once or twice with your own breath. And the next time you're at the bottom, you can switch directions, inhaling up to the right. Exhaling down to the left. And then inhale, center. Take the right hand to the left ear. We're going to pull the right ear towards the right shoulder. We're going to extend the left arm. Find a nice stretch in the left neck. And hold here for a couple breaths. Switch sides, left hand comes to right ear, pulling the left ear towards the left shoulder, right arm out, and then stretch. And release. I'm going to warm up our shoulders a bit, so fingertips come to our shoulders. As you inhale, we're going to bring our elbows together. As you do that, thinking about spreading your shoulder blades wide. As we come down and go out, we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together in the back, really focusing on squeezing them together. So as we go through this motion, it could be easy to just, flow through some easy movement. But really think about squeezing the shoulder blades, spreading them apart. Scapular movement, retraction, protraction, in and out. This movement's very important for any upper body exercise, especially as we go through our yoga practice. You want to be aware of your scapula and how they move, regardless of your elbows. You go back the other direction, inhaling up, exhaling down. And release. We're going to go ahead and inhale, center. Exhale, take your right hand to your left knee. Left hand behind. Twist over your shoulder. Couple breaths here, looking over your shoulder as far as you can. And release. Left hand to right knee. Right hand behind your sit bones. Twist open to the right. Couple breaths and release. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, start to walk them forward. Trying to keep your hips and sit bones grounded. Getting a nice stretch. Inhale, start to walk the hands up. You can plant the left hand, inhale, right arm up. We're going to just start to lean over to the left side, getting a nice stretch through the right side body. You can start to bend the elbow as you get more comfortable. And we're going to switch sides, plant the right hand, reach the left arm up. Start to reach through. You can start with a straight arm, start to bend the elbow as you go deeper. We're going to interlace the fingers, turn our palms up, try to sit nice and tall, try to ground down with your sit bones while opening up your chest and shoulder. Have some space between your ears and your shoulders, don't be scrunched up. Look up towards your hands, long spine. We're going to go ahead and come to tabletop position. Come onto your hands and knees. Try to have your shoulders, elbows, and wrists stacked all in a line, as well as your hips and knees. And we're going to just flow through a few cat cows. So as we inhale, we're going to look up, round our tailbone up, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Fill the belly with air. Exhale, round the spine, push down through the hands. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Push. Come back to a flat back. We're going to inhale. Right arm up. Look up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Thread your arm through, bringing your right shoulder and right ear to the mat. Hold here for a moment. If you want, you can bring your left arm around your back. Hold here. We're going to start to try to open up to the left. So the next step, if you want to balance you can place your left hand above your head. Extend your left leg out to the side. You can bring your arm back and open up looking towards the ceiling. Bring the left arm back down. Return the foot to its place. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale. We'll do the same on the other side. So we'll inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it through, bringing the left shoulder down to the mat. Stay here for a breath. And if you want, you can bring your right hand wrapped around your back, holding your opposite thigh or opposite hip. You can stay here, or if you want to challenge yourself more, you can start to extend the right arm over your head to find your balance. Bring the right leg straight out from your hip. And then allow your right arm to go back to where it was and look up towards the ceiling, opening up to the right side. Allow the right arm to return to its place, foot to come back. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, release. Hands out a bit. We're going to think about our scapula again here. So, we're going to practice bringing our shoulder blades together, scapular retraction, and spreading our shoulder blades apart. Just a few times flow through this. Try not to bend your elbows. just move your scapula. Think about bringing your shoulder blades together, bringing them apart. Just flow through a few times. After you squeeze them in, you can go forwards and backwards, rolling through your traps out of your back. You can go backwards to forwards, back through the traps and releasing. Bringing your shoulders up and down as they go in and out. Just thinking about moving the shoulder blades around, independent of the elbows. Oftentimes we associate bending the elbows with retracting the scapula, but we can retract the straight arms as well. It's good to practice. We're going to warm up our wrists. So making sure your wrists and elbows and shoulders are stacked. We're going to start to lift up the palms, keeping the underknuckles pressed down into the mat. We're just going to flow through 10 to 20 repetitions of this. Coming down slowly. If this is getting difficult, the farther back you go, bring your shoulders behind your wrists, the easier it will get. The farther forward you go, the more difficult. So we're just going to do this a few times until you're feeling something in your upper forearm and in your wrists. If it's starting to feel nice and warm, you can shake it out. Then going to flow through a few. As our underknuckles grip the ground before, we're also going to grip the mat, raising up our middle knuckles, pressing down with our underknuckles and our palm as we lean forward. So we can pulse, gripping the mat, warming up the wrists. We can bring our fingers out and lean left and right. We can bring them back if you feel comfortable. Lean back, get a nice stretch. And shake them out. We're then going to come to our high plank. Now, as we're practicing our scapular retraction and protraction, as we're in a high plank, we want to think about scapular protraction. So spread your shoulder blades wide, pushing down, and we're going to step our feet back. Now, as far as our hips, we don't want them too high, we don't want them too low. We want them about even with our shoulders, pelvis tilted forward, squeezing your tummy. And we're pulling our heels back, activating our legs. When you're in a strong plank, your whole body should be active. Hold for a couple breaths, nice deep breaths. Then we can walk our feet forward just a couple inches, bring the hips high, and start to walk out our first down dog. Breathe here. Our fingertips are wide. Pedaling our feet down towards the ground. Pushing back through the heels. Rounding your armpits in towards each other. From here, we're going to start to walk our feet forward, and we're going to walk them wide, just behind our hands. We're going to sink our hips low, into a low squat. Once we find ourselves here, you can press your elbows just below your knees into your inner thighs, and bring your hands together. You can have your toes out. If you have good ankle mobility, you can have them equal, whatever feels good for you. And hold here. Really nice stretch in the groin and the hips. We want to be active as well, so don't be too low. Be active. A few inches above where you'd be resting. Active in your glutes, active in your legs, active in your core, squeezing your tummy in. Nice deep breaths here. And then you're going to place the left hand on the mat. Right arm goes up towards the ceiling. Gaze goes towards your right hand. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing the hands back to normal in the center. Take one deep breath. Then place the right hand. Left arm goes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing the hands back together in the center. calm state of mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And from here we can slowly start to stand up with strong legs. All right, our joints are warmed up. Now it's time to build up some fire. Start our practice. So, we're going to flow through a few sun salutations. Today we're going to do some hatha-style sun salutations. So if you practiced Ashtanga with me in the past, these will be a bit different. So instead of having our feet all the way together, you can do this if this is comfortable, or maybe a fist or two's worth apart is fine as well. As we inhale our arms up, we're going to come up to the top, and then even start to lean back a bit into a back bend on our inhale. Just slightly. We're going to exhale, fold forward. We're going to take this first one nice and slow. So as we fold, we can grab opposite elbows, hinging over the hips, allowing our head to be heavy, active in our legs, relaxed in our upper body. And you can sway back and forth, strong in your base, strong in your legs, relaxed in your upper body. Just breathe here. Try to find some space in between your shoulders and your ears. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck. On our next inhale, we're going to look up and step the right foot back. As we step the right foot back, we're going to drop the right knee. We're going to raise our arms up. Press and lunge. Now, as we do this, we can start to bring our hips forward. We don't want our knees to go past our foot, but just stacked right over. We should feel a stretch in our right thigh, strong in our left side. 1, 2, 3. We're going to plant the hands down. Step the left foot back into a high plank. From here, we're going to drop the knees, drop the chest, and drop the chin, keeping our hips raised. As we get down here, exhale until you're fully out of breath. Then flatten out, and we're going to raise up for Cobra. So our hands are right under our shoulders, active in the back, trying to use your back more than your arms. Start to raise up. And it's okay to have a small Cobra at first. Your arms are straight all the way. Then going to round the toes under, push up and back to downward facing dog. And breathe here. Nice deep breaths. Fingertips are spread wide. Heels drawing back towards the mat. Nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, we're going to step the right foot forward, dropping the left knee. Again, inhaling our arms up, press and lunge. Feel both legs, left leg stretching, right leg very strong. 2, 3, 4. We're then going to place the hands on the mat. Exhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right, and come back to that forward fold. Again, you can grab the opposite elbows, relax, rock back and forth. 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. We'll do the same thing for the other side. So inhale, arms up. Slight back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Again, take a moment. Sway back and forth. Relax here. Allow your upper body to become heavy, strong in your legs. It's okay to have bent knees. Whatever feels good. 3, 4, 5. As we inhale and look up, we're going to step our left leg back, dropping our left knee. Bringing our arms up. Strong here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As we exhale and bring our hands down, step your right foot back, high plank. Then you'll drop your knees, drop your chest and chin while keeping your hips in the air. Exhale all the air out. No air left at the bottom. Then we'll bring the hips down. Inhale up for Cobra. It can just be a baby Cobra. It's okay. Strong in your back. And then exhale. Back for downward facing dog. Breathe here. Nice deep breaths. 1, 2. Fingers wide. 3, 4, 5. We're going to step our left foot forward, dropping our right knee. Inhale, arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, hands down. Bring the right foot to meet the left foot. Fold down. And then inhale. All the way. Now we're going to flow through that same thing, but we'll do it a bit quicker. So this time we're going to flow with the breath. So each movement will go with inhale or exhale. You won't be holding as long. So we're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, right foot goes back, drop the right knee. And you don't even have to raise the arms up, just look forward. And then exhale, left foot goes back, knees, chest and chin with the hips high. Inhale up, Cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Then going to bring our right foot forward on an inhale, drop the left knee, look up. Exhale, bring the left foot to meet the right. Fold forward. Inhale. All the way. Come up. Release. One more from the other side. Inhale, arms up. Bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Left foot comes back. Drop the left knee. Exhale, plant the hands. Right foot comes back. Knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward. Drop the right knee. Inhale, look up. Exhale, right foot comes to meet the left. Fold forward. And inhale. Arms all the way up. We're going to go ahead, bring our hands to our waist, step the right foot back about 3 to 4 feet, adjust the feet so that they're either parallel with each other or perhaps the toes are a bit more in than the heels. We're going to inhale, look up, exhale, fold forward. As we fold, we're going to place our hands in between our feet, about a fist's width away from each other. Inhale, look up with straight arms. Exhale, fold, pull the elbows back. As you fold forward, imagine there's a rubber band around your elbows, pulling them and keeping them together. Hinge forward at the hips. So I'm thinking about trying to get your stomach on your legs. So bend the knees if you need to. Hinge forward. Elbows back. Nice. Elbows nice and tight. Pull yourself down. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up, straighten the arms. Exhale, hands to waist. Inhale, all the way, come up. We're going to keep our hands on our waist, pull our elbows back towards each other, squeezing the shoulder blades together, scapular retraction, and we're going to, again, fold forward, trying to keep our elbows back, keep our shoulder blades squeezed together, fold down. 5, nice deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, all the way come up. This time we're going to clasp our palms together behind our backs. Again, squeeze the shoulder blades together, round the shoulders down. Find some space in between your hands and your butt. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. And as you breathe, every exhale, try to bring your arms closer and closer to being parallel with the ground. If you feel good here and you have the mobility, you can start to bring your head towards the mat. Nice deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, all the way come up. Then going to have our hands to the waist again. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. This time we're going to bring our index and middle finger around the big toe. And as we fold, we can pull against our big toe to help to get us deeper. And our toes can ground down into the ground, again, resisting the push and the pull. And this should make it a bit easier, bending in the elbows, pulling down, helping you to get nice and deep. Breathe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up, straighten the arms. Exhale, what we're going to do is bring our left hand around to our right ankle. And we're then going to take our right arm and try to straighten it out towards the ceiling. Breathe here. 1, 2, 3, four, and 5. You can go ahead and bring the right arm down, release the ankle. We're then going to bring the right hand over to the left ankle, open up the left arm towards the ceiling, breathe into the twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, we're going to bring the hands to the waist, all the way come up. We're then going to turn towards the back of our mats, dropping the left knee, keeping the right knee bent for crescent lunge. Now, as we're here, we're going to, again, come up for crescent lunge, but this time, we're going to take cactus arms. And we're going to start to look towards the ceiling, going for more of a back bend. Strong shoulders, strong back, strong legs. 5. Nice deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to bring the hands down outside of the foot. We're going to walk the heel out a couple of spaces. Flex the leg, pull the toes back towards you, and start to fold over for a half split. Now when you're in your half split, you don't want to lean your hips back. You want to try to keep your hips about over your knee, perhaps back a little bit, and just fold forward with whatever's comfortable for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and gently make your way out of this. Plant the right foot. Bring the left heel up. Now, what we want is our heel to be about 45 degrees. We want our hips facing forward. We're going to inhale with a straight leg, arms up over our head. Gaze goes towards the ceiling. And we'll exhale, bend that front knee. Come into a nice, strong warrior one. We want to be pressing down with the outer edge of our left foot, gripping the floor with our toes and our heel of our right foot, hips square, steadily sinking deeper and deeper into the pose. As the left leg stretches, the right knee will bend more. Gaze towards the ceiling, nice and strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're then going to adjust the left foot open to about 45 degrees. Hips are square with the side of the mat. Open up the arms. Gaze goes over the top middle finger. Bends that knee even more. Breathe, warrior 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to straighten the front knee. Maybe walk the back foot in a couple steps, but keeping the hips square with the side, same angle. Arms come up. We're going to reach forward and come down into triangle pose. Now, you can have your hand on your ankle. You can place your hand on the floor, or perhaps you can wrap the 3 fingers around the big toe. Gaze goes up towards the ceiling. Breathe. 1. Nice deep breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go ahead and come up. Adjust the left foot again to about 45 degrees so the hips are square with the front of the mat. You can bring your hands either to the opposite elbows, or you can try to bring your hands into a reverse hump start. And then we're going to hinge forward, fold at the hips, looking towards the big toe. Squeezing the shoulder blades together in the back. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to let go with our arms, place our left hand outside of our right foot, use our right hand on the stomach to pull the stomach open to the right side, extend the right arm looking towards the ceiling, revolve triangle. This is a balanced pose. Take your time and breathe. 1. Nice, deep, long breaths. 2. Twisting open to the right side. 3. 4. 5. We're going to go ahead, come up to a standing position, switch the feet so the left foot is forward, facing towards the front of our mats again. We're then going to drop the right knee, strong the left leg, hands up like a cactus, and start to look towards the ceiling, trying to find some mobility in your lower spine. Breathe. 1. Nice deep breaths. 2. 4. And 5. here, we're again going to walk that heel forward a little bit. Try to keep your hips about above your knee as you lean forward as much as is comfortable for half splits. 1. Nice deep breaths. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Again, from here, you're going to flatten that foot down, make your way up to a standing position. Right foot should be about 45 degrees. Hips are square with the front of the mat. With a straight leg, inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend into that left knee, nice and strong. Again, as the more time you spend here, your right leg will stretch, which will allow your left knee to bend deeper. 3, 1. As you think about being here, think about getting deeper and deeper, stretching through the back leg, bending the left knee. 2. Nice. 3. 4. 5. We're going to adjust the right foot about 90 degrees. Hips are square with the side of the mat. Open the arms up. Warrior 2. Gaze goes over the left middle finger. Bend into that front knee, nice and strong. 1. 2. 3. Nice deep breaths. 4. Very nice. And 5. From here, we're going to straighten that leg. Walk the foot in a couple steps. Arms stay up. We're going to start to reach forward, keeping our hips where they are. We're anchored in our feet and our hips. And we're going to open up. Again, you can have your left hand on your ankle, on the mat, or perhaps wrapped around your big toe. Look towards the ceiling. 1. 2. Nice deep breaths. 3. 4. And 5. From here, we can come up, adjust the right foot so our hips are square with the front of the mat. Again, you can either bring your hands to opposite elbows, or perhaps you can bring your hands to a reverse prayer pose, squeezing the shoulders in. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold over the left leg. You can start with a slight bend in the knee to get down, and then try to straighten the leg as you get down here. Again, if you cannot straighten the leg, that's okay. Work day by day. 1. 2. Try to keep your hips square with the front. 3. 4. And 5. From here, the right hand comes outside of the left foot. Use your left hand to pull the stomach open to the left, trying to maintain that straight leg in the front. Extend the left arm. Breathe. 1. 2. 3. Deep breaths. 4. 5. Go ahead and bring the arms up. Step the feet forward to the top of the mat. We're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, flat back. Plant the hands. Exhale, either step or jump the feet back to a high plank. You can then lower either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. And just go ahead and flatten out all the way onto your belly. Now, from here, what we're going to do are some variations of Cobra, up dog. So to start, feet are flat, tops of your feet on the mat or on the floor. Hands are underneath your shoulders. We're going to start to push down with the tops of our feet and try to raise your hands and your shoulders up. So you're using your back muscles to come up and look forward. From here, once you feel your back is doing the work, gently place the hands on the mat and push just a little bit further. Perhaps to your belly button coming off the mat. So we're just going to stay here in this baby cobra for now. Breathe here. Elbows coming back towards your body. 4 and 5. Go ahead and lower down. Allow your head to rest to one side. Take a deep breath. Next, we're going to again inhale with the hands coming off the ground, head coming up. Use your back. Try to get even higher. On the inhale, gently place your hands. And this time we can start to extend even more, making sure you're engaging your back. You don't want your shoulders by your ears. Shoulders down, nice distance, strong in your back. Breathe. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down, you can turn your head to the other side. Take a breath, relax the arm. Then we're going to run through an upward facing dog. So again, we can place our hands, but this time, as we come up, we're going to start to roll forward so that our hands end up by our hips. Straight arms, strong, looking forward, bending in the back. Try to have your knees off the mat if you can. Only contact with the mat is your hands and the tops of your feet. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to round the toes underneath, bring the hips high, come through for downward facing dog. Breathe here. Start to pull the heels towards the mat, armpits in towards each other, fingers spread wide, gripping the mat. Nice deep breaths. Two, 3, 4, 5. Now what we're going to do from here is bring the right foot outside of the right hand as you step it forward. Now, there'll be a few variations you can choose for lizard pose. You can drop your left knee and you can stay right here. This would be the beginner variation. You could also come down to your forearms. If you feel strong, you can raise your left knee off the mat and hold here. You want your shoulders to be lower than your knees if you're on your forearm, really sinking in below your hip. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, we're going to come back onto our hands, looking up, and we're going to start to walk our heel across towards our left hand. We'll drop our knee, come down to the top of our left foot. Now, what we want to aim to do here is stay active. So we're pulling back with our right toes, engaging here. We don't want our left foot to fall off to the side. We want to be strong and active, square hips, square with the front of the mat. You can stay here. You can come to the forearms, or perhaps you fold all the way down over your leg. Come into whatever's comfortable for you in pigeon pose. Stay active and breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to go ahead and come up. From here, We're going to bend the left knee, bringing the left foot towards us. And we can reach behind us and grab the foot. And we're just going to pull it forward for a nice quad stretch as we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Plant the hands. Bring the right foot back. Downward facing dog again. Take a nice deep breath here. We're then going to step the left foot outside of the left hand. Now again, from here we can drop the right knee. We can stay here. If you feel good here, perhaps you can lower down onto your forearms. And if you feel good there, perhaps you raise the right knee off the mat, active the right leg, and hold. 5, 4, nice deep breaths. 3, very good. 2, and 1. Coming up onto your hands, we're going to walk the left foot across, dropping the left knee down, pull back with the left toes, active in the left leg, drop to the top of your right foot, active in the right leg, hips square with the front. Don't let yourself turn, strong square hips. You can stay here, you can come down to your forearms, perhaps you fold all the way down, bringing your head to the floor. Whatever feels comfortable for you. And breathe. Be sure to stay active. 1. It's very important to be active as you stretch. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly, slowly, you can come up onto the forearms and then the hands. We're going to reach back with the right arm, bend the right knee, get a hold of your right foot, and try to get a nice quad stretch in here, pulling your heel towards the outside of your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and release. Plant the hands. Step the left foot back. Coming into downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here. Breathe, breathe. From here, we're going to inhale. Rock ourselves forward into a high plank. Bring the right knee up and try to bring it to touch the right tricep if you can. Breathe here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath. Then we're going to bring the right foot up. Bring yourself forward again into high plank. This time twist. Bring the right knee to the left elbow. 2. Hold as long as you can. 3. Strong arms. 4. And 5. Back to three-legged dog. Leg high. Back to regular down dog. Take a breath. Raise the right foot up again. Bring it high. This time bring it forward and try to touch your knee to your nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right leg comes up. We're going to drop the right heel off to the left side. Try to point the right knee towards the ceiling. You can look under your left arm. Make sure you can see your foot. And relax here. Open up your hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring the right foot down, downward facing dog. Take a breath, prepare yourself. Same thing on the left side. Raise the left foot up. Bring the left knee to the left tricep or elbow. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips go up high, left foot goes back. Bring it down. Take a breath, downward facing dog. Raise the left foot high again. This time twisting, bring it to the right elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back up high. Bring it down, downward facing dog. Take a breath. This time left foot high. Bring it forward towards your nose. Try to touch your nose if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the left leg back and open up the hip. Bring the knee towards the ceiling. Ankle towards your butt. You can look under your right arm, see your left ankle, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can go ahead and bring your foot down, drop your knees down to the mat, push back, knees wide, child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Your forehead's in the mat, nice and heavy. Allow your spine to lengthen. Breathe. Four, 3. Try to pull your butt down towards your ankles. 2. We're going to go ahead and come up to tabletop position. Once we're in tabletop, we're going to drop our forearms down to the mat. We're going to think about protracting the scapula, spreading the shoulder blades wide. Step the left foot back. Pull the left heel back nice and strong, active in your left leg and glutes. Same on your right side. Legs are active. Pelvis is tilting, squeezing your tummy. Shoulders are over elbows. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 3, 2.5, 2.25, 2, and 1. Drop the knees. You can bring the knees wide. Push back for child's pose. Take a few deep breaths. Nice, long, deep breaths. Pull the butt down towards the heels. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to tabletop. Back to that forearm down position. Back to that low plank, but this time we're going to start to walk the feet in and walk the hips high. Once you feel comfortable, you can start to pull the heels down, look forward in between the arms, squeeze at the shoulders. Think about your armpits looking towards each other, strong in the lats, strong in the shoulders. Breathe. 5, try to pull the heels down. 4, 3, active in the shoulders. Make sure your head's not on the ground, looking in between your arms. 2, nice, Joy. And 1. Again, drop the knees down. Press back for child's pose. 3, 2, 3. Nice. lengthening the spine. And 5. Inhale, come up to tabletop. We have one more, and this one will be choose your own adventure. So, if that pose felt pretty hard to you, you can come right back to a low plank. If that one felt good for you and you feel like you want to get a little more experience there, you can walk yourself up to dolphin. If you're experienced with dolphin, and maybe if you've done pincha before, then you can start to perhaps bring one leg up onto your tiptoes and feel what it's like here. You can switch sides, see what feels good, and if you've done pincha before and you're very confident, you can kick yourself up and try to hold for a few seconds. So this one is choose your own adventure. And if you want to try pincha, but you're not quite confident, you want a spotter, you can get my attention and I was fucking. Or you can go to a wall. So choose your own adventure. Low plank, dolphin pose, or pincha. Nice, Joy. Very good. Hey, but you're rocking though, you're taking the weight off that toe. Yeah. You're there. Awesome. Very nice. Choose your own adventure. Relax. Relax as well. And of course, if you just want to take a downward facing dog, a child's pose, you can always do that. All right, finish up your adventure. Last few seconds, few breaths. Breathe. And we'll press back to one more child's pose. We're going to bring our hips up, round our toes under, push back for a downward facing dog. Spend a few breaths here. Now we're going to come through to a seated position. If you know how to float through, you can float. If you've never floated through before, a drill we can try is you're going to bend the knees, look forward. As you straighten the arms, bring the right knee towards your nose like we did before. But in that motion, when it comes towards your nose, jump the left leg up, cross the legs, and try to come through to a seated position. Many lifetimes to practice. All right, once we're in our seated position, we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. You can grab your ankles, you can grab your feet, you can grab your big toes. Try not to round the spine. It's always better to bend the knees and have a straight back than it is to have a rounded back and straight legs. So bend the knees as much as you need to hinge forward at the hips, placing your stomach on your thighs as you fold. Even if you're here, this is fine. And breathe. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale, look up, straighten the arms. Exhale, release. From here, we're going to bring the right foot inside the left thigh. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, you can either grab your ankle, grab your foot, perhaps you can grab the opposite wrist and fold over. And breathe there. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, look up, straighten the arms. Exhale, release. We're going to bend the right knee. Inhale, arm up, reach forward. And we're going to attempt to bind the arm around the right knee. So perhaps you can grab your shorts and your shirt, Perhaps you can reach your opposite hand, whatever you can get, and then fold forward. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. When you come up, bring the left elbow outside of the right knee, right hand behind the sit bones, twist open to the right, looking over the right shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Same other side. So extend the right leg. Bring the left foot inside the right thigh. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Again, you can grab the ankle. You can grab the foot. Perhaps you can grab the opposite wrist and fold over. Breathe here. 5. Nice deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. We'll bring the left knee up. Inhale, left arm up. Reach forward with the arm inside the left knee. Reach as far as you can. Start to wrap the arm around. Go for that bind. If you can reach the other arm, reach your opposite hand, or you can grab your shirt and your shorts. Great. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and look up, release. We'll then take our right elbow outside of the left knee, left hand behind the sit bone, twist open to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release. Lay down on your backs. We're going to bring our arms into a cactus again. And we're just going to start to allow the knees to drop to the right. As the knees drop to the right, we can look over to the left. Allow our body to relax. Take a couple of breaths. Shoulders are flat on the ground. Right hip is flat. Then we'll bring the knees up. Drop them to the left side, looking over our right shoulder. Taking a few breaths here. Allowing our shoulders to sink into the mat. Relax. Then we can just flow through with our breath a few times. So we'll bring our knees up on an inhale. Exhale, drop to the right. Look over the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop to the left. Look over the right. And just flow through a few breaths like this at your own pace. Back and forth. Next, inhale, bring the knees up. Hug them in towards your chest. And we're just going to try to touch our forehead to our knees. If you can touch your forehead to your knees, your tummy is tight, your core is strong, you can start to rock back and forth with our knees or our head. Massaging your back just gently. We can then go ahead and lay our head down and massage our back left to right. Gently, maybe doing some circles, get engaged in the core a bit for the circles. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and straighten the legs. Allow your hands to fall open to the side, palms towards the ceiling. You can allow your feet to fall out to the side. Allowing your body to sink into the mat. I will be coming around with some oil for a light head massage. If this is something you're not interested in today, just go ahead and flip your card over to red and I'll know not to come to you. And if you would like one, then keep it on green and I'll know to stop it. Go ahead and close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Deep inhales through the nose. Deep exhale. Feel the rise and fall of your chest or stomach. Get distracted by any thoughts, that's okay. Just return your focus to your breath. fingers and your toes. Bring some movement back into your body. Reach your arms up over your head, giving yourself a nice stretch. You can bring your right knee up, roll over onto your left side using your left arm as a pillow. Perhaps while you're here, you can hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug, just for a moment. And you can use your right hand to help you sit up, allowing your eyes to remain closed. Find a comfortable seated position. Deep breaths. We're just going to check back in with our body. So again, just noticing how your body feels. Perhaps you're relaxed. Perhaps you're tired. Maybe you're tight. However you feel, just notice it. What's going on in your body. Again, going to focus on these sounds we hear around us. Just counting every level of different sounds that you can notice. Busy shops and people, birds, traffic, the life of the city. Back to our breath once again. Feeling our chest rise and fall, our ribs expand. Just taking a moment to notice your breath and be grateful that you're able to breathe with oxygen to your body. Allow it to fuel it to do so many amazing things. You can check back in on your intention that you set before practice. Just remembering what it was that you thought about at that time. Perhaps you accomplished it. Perhaps you didn't. It's okay either way. No judgment on yourself. We're going to go ahead, have a deep inhale, and as we exhale, we'll chant together Om one time, 3 times Shanti to seal in our practice. Inhale. Start to rub our palms together, generating some heat in between our hands. Once your hands feel warm, you can move your hands from your head to your neck, shoulders, arms, down your body, legs, all the way down to your feet, showing yourself some love and energy. We'll then come back up, rub our palms together one more time, generating even more heat and energy. And we'll place our palms over our eyes. Feel the warmth. Perhaps you can see some colors in the dark. Slowly, we'll start to remove the palms from our eyes and open up our eyes, allowing our gaze to focus on our hands. And lower our hands down, heart center. thanks to Mother Earth, thanks to all of you for yoga practice. Thank you everyone so much for coming today. My first class here at One Iman. I had a great experience. I hope you all had a good yoga practice as well. If you have any feedback for me, anything you'd like to see in the future, things I can improve upon, I'm always looking to improve my teaching and my practice, so feel free to speak to me after class. Always open to feedback. I will be here every Sunday at 9:30. So if you enjoyed the class, I hope to see you all again. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Namaste, namaste.